Hey, yo, what up? Real Fans Podcast
What up?
back
What
at
up?
it again. Another week we are here discussing all kinds of sports. I'm your boy Gabe. That's Julian. Julian, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing good. Lovely Friday afternoon.
Our other co-host couldn't be here, JoJo. He's out on a trip, but we'll see him back because his New York Knickerbockers are on top of the seed, and I'm sure he's gonna be coming back to tell you how much. No, they're 4-1. They're actually
Oh wow.
number one right now. But yeah, let's get into it. Sports week, kind of what was going on over the past week. Julian, what you got?
Yeah, so pretty much NFL kind of driven show today since I don't know, NBA is a little starting off and we don't know anything about baseball. That's JoJo's expertise. But yeah, I want to get into Kansas City Chiefs. It seems to be that they're having problems. They're not the same team that they were these past couple years. Have they been figured out, Gabe? Can they bounce back off this like rocky start that they've been having? Or by the time will the playoff race pretty much be gone for them? Will they even win the division at this point? I believe they're 3-4 right now. At the top of the division is the Raiders. That's only because the Chargers had a bye week. I think the Chargers will probably end up winning that division, in my guess. But yeah, what do you think is going on with the Kansas City Chiefs? And like, can they seriously like fix it? Will Andy Reid fix it?
I think one of the biggest things this year was, the Chiefs coming in. These aren't the championship Chiefs. Like their defense was a little suspect coming into the season, and I think now this season we're actually starting to see like Patrick Mahomes is a little bit exposed. I was looking at his game by game. He's still throwing a lot of yards. You know, he's throwing 300 plus yards at least 3 times this season. But I think it's kind of a little bit reckless, right? Overall, his statistics for this year, about 67% is about his average career. But some of the turnovers are pretty devastating. And like I said, the defense is pretty suspect. They give up a lot of yards. As far as they're kind of like middle of the road, like a little bit above in some stats defensively, and a little bit below as far as like scoring, giving up points allowed. And yeah, they're just not as good as they were. I mean, that's kind of what you get. I mean, I still kind of, we still haven't, we're almost at the halfway point. They could definitely turn it around coming the rest of the season, but I think the team is not as good. And Patrick Mahomes is although Patrick Mahomes is a reckless player, these no look throws running around. He kind of got away. He got escaped off. And I heard some people saying like he's playing slower. He might be injured. And I don't know about any of that because I haven't heard anything in the news about like his health if he's full 100%. But I think sometimes you have a bad year, man. I mean, I don't know what else. What do you think, Julian? What's going on with the Chiefs?
Well, the biggest thing for sure is the turnovers. I mean, they need to stop with that. I mean, the turnovers have gotten very bad for them lately. I want to say I heard somebody bring up, I don't know the exact number, but when all their games all the 3 games that they have won, their turnover differential I believe was very low, or if not at 0. I don't think it was plus, but it was very low. But then if you look at all the games they lost, it was something like -11 on their turnover differential. Like, so in those games that they're losing partly because, I mean, the terrible turnovers that are being made. And I don't know if there's certain philosophies in the way that Andy Reid's play calling has gone, like maybe they've gotten figured out. I haven't studied it intensely about the offensive line. So I imagine they're probably playing pretty run of the mill. I haven't heard anything crazy about them, but I do know from the big things that I saw, because I watched a good amount of the Tennessee Kansas City game, and man, it was just they couldn't get the ball down the field at all. It seemed to be their run game is not performing really well. I think Travis Kelce is injured. Like, I know he's playing,
I think,
but yeah. I think he has a pretty nagging. My guess, just looking at him, he looks like he has a nagging injury going on. Really, obviously, not having Sammy Watkins kind of hurts. Like, you would like to have him back because now he's playing in Baltimore. So obviously, that's a weapon that's gone. But if they can turn it around, it seems like they kind of got to do it now, right? Especially if you want to take over the division. You're already 2 games behind, and you're in 3rd place right now. As the playoffs currently stand, they would not be in it. Obviously, it's coming into week 8, so there's still a lot of time left. I think they've gotten so comfortable these past couple years being like, we could always come back at any second, which is what they did. They were one of the worst teams to bet on from a spread perspective because they would always let teams get ahead or keep it close, and then out of nowhere, they just do what they do, and they just separate the lead. But I think they're starting to be figured out. And people are starting to understand different ways to play them. I mean, maybe losing to Tampa in the Super Bowl kind of exposed them in a way. And then when you look at their schedule, the games that they won, they're not the most competitive teams. I mean, probably the Browns because they beat the Browns, they beat the Eagles, and they beat Washington. But then they lost to the Bills, Titans, Ravens, and Chargers. All 4 playoff teams as we speak. So every team that's the playing stands that are in the playoff contention have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs. And I have a hard time betting against Andy Reid and everything that team offers. So I still think they find a way to make the playoffs for sure. And for sure make it past the wild card round. I think, you have these patches. I think a lot of people get so worried about what's going on. And, sometimes you just lose a few, sometimes you're just kind of even, but then I have faith in Andy Reid. He's by far one of the best coaches in NFL history. I think they could figure out a way to get back to their winning ways. I don't know if they necessarily win the division. I think the division is really strong right now and they already kind of had a slow start, but I think they for sure find a way to get back in the race.
And you mentioned their schedule. I mean, they had a pretty tough schedule. If you look at it, I mean, they played some pretty good teams. And I think going forward, they have to play the Raiders twice. They play Green Bay. I think going forward is not, and they have to play the Cowboys, who are playing pretty good right now.
The next games they got to lay up. They got Monday Night Football against the Giants.
They play the Giants.
Yeah, you have the Giants, Packers, Raiders, Cowboys, Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, Steelers, Bengals, Broncos. So it's a relatively tough schedule. So,
so beginning of the year, it's pretty tough and kind of tough going the rest of the way. I don't know how it's going to shake out. I mean, they might be one of these, in the hunt teams fighting for a wild card in their division. But give it another half. We'll see how they turn it around. Their schedule's been pretty tough for a little bit, but
then again, you are Kansas City, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't lose every single one of those games against those playoff teams. I mean, as a Kansas City, I'm not a Kansas City fan, but I'm coming from a fan's perspective. You expect to at least come out with 3 or 2 wins out of those 4 games against those playoff teams. Especially to lose as bad as they did against the Titans, not even to put up a touchdown, just a field goal. That's just embarrassing against the Titans defense. That isn't that great. And a pretty one-dimensional offense on top of that. But it's the turnovers. It's that if they find a way to clean up the turnovers and get a solid running game going, and then obviously, hopefully, whenever their bye week comes, they can kind of get a little healthy and refresh. Because bye weeks change a lot of things, and I don't think they get a bye week for a while.
Week 12.
Looking at it, week 12. That's a long time. That's a long time, and sometimes those bye weeks you need that. And if they can survive until then, but like I said, it's hard to count them out. They're such a good team. They've been such a good team for so long. It's why would we bet against them now? Just give them time. They're not as they kind of been humanized now. Now it's okay, they're not impossible team. Thing. Yeah, the scariest thing anymore. And I think a lot of teams are starting to realize that.
Yeah, and you think of the quarterbacks that any games that you want the ball, it's your Tom Brady's, it's your Aaron Rodgers, and you would think Patrick Mahomes. If they're down, you know what I mean? If you're winning a game, the last thing you want to do is put the ball in Patrick Mahomes' hands, and you always got to keep scoring, always trying to get that first down, always you want to keep the ball in your hands as much so that way Patrick Mahomes won't do what he does or what we saw him do at his best last year. So we'll see, man. Hopefully they clean it up. Like I said, they got tough schedule going forward, and I still believe in him. Maybe he's having a down year, but guess what? People have down years. It's up and down. They're not going to be perfect, all rising all the time.
And it's a tough decision. It's a tough division too. You know what I mean? Like the division's pretty good. Like even the Broncos, who aren't that great, they still got a really good defense. I mean, the Broncos are a really good team. They just lack a solid quarterback and a good coach. But I mean, and then obviously we know the Raiders and Chargers, they've seemed to kind of proven to be a team that's a serious threat to win the division. But yeah, I mean, time will tell with Kansas City. We'll see how they perform going on to the rest of the season. Like I said, not the toughest schedule in the world, but it's not going to be easy as well. But now we're going to go to a team we didn't expect to be playing as well. I mean, playing well. That coming into the season, we did not think they'd be in this position that they are right now. We're talking about the Kansas City, the Cincinnati Bengals are actually number 1 in the AFC as we speak right now. They are 5-2, 4-2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, they are 5-2 right now. They beat the brakes on the Ravens and Lamar Jackson, which was a huge statement game to me. Like that was wild. And then obviously they lost in overtime against the Packers. So, I mean, you flip that game, they'd be 6-1 right now. And I'll tell you what, I did not expect it. And the thing too, is the team, it wasn't like outside of Jamar Chase, obviously, who at the rate he's going, he should be by far the offensive rookie of the year. That guy's been playing absolutely lights out, not even just for a rookie, but just for a wide receiver in this league. Like right now, he's playing as one of the best in the league right now. And no other rookies even close to him. And it's so impressive to see a rookie wide receiver play so well. Yeah. And and then the games they lost very close to. I mean, they lost to the Bears by 3 points. And like I said, they lost to the Packers in overtime by a field goal. But other than that, they beat the Steelers, they beat the Jags, they beat the Lions, and they beat the Ravens and the Vikings.
And the weird thing about the Bengals is like Burrow's playing well. Like the games that he's winning, you're talking about, he's over like his QB rating is like 110 plus. So and the games that he lost, he's like sub 80, like sub 90. And the games that he lost, the 2 games that he lost, it was like even in his 66.
Yeah, and even those games he lost, it's not like he's playing bad. It's not like the teams. It's not like they're losing because he played bad. It's just things just happen. Like sometimes you get the better teams just better. Like I said, I don't find Kansas City as a whole. Cincinnati as a whole to be the most talented team because they're really not. Like on paper, they shouldn't be the number 1 team in the AFC. Yeah, they have great weapons. Their defense can be questionable at times, and obviously we all know about their offensive line. But it seems to be Joe Burrow's find a way to get that ball out quickly and kind of protect himself a little bit. But it's surprising. Do I think they maintain it? It's tough to tell, right? Because they're not the most talented team, but it seems to be that they find a way to win. They seem to always find a way to win, or at least stay right in there. To say like their biggest blowout game was the 2 blowout games are against the Lions and the Ravens, their last 2 games. So it seems to be that they're just getting better and better each week. I did see them play against the Jags. They won at the final second for the maybe that's a game that, and things like that makes me kind of question because like I said, like the Jags, I watched that game every single play. And realistically, the Jags lost that game because of their own mistakes, not because the Bengals beat them. But, they found a way to get back in it and win, and they're finding a way to win. And I know a lot of Bengals fans had really wanted to go after that coach because Zach Taylor, because he just hasn't really been performing, but now it seems to be everything's clicking. So for sure I don't know if this year they definitely make the playoffs this year. Do they make it deep in the playoffs? I don't know. Like I said, the Ravens game was a big statement game. It was a big statement game because that is a tough team. They're looking good, and they beat them pretty well. Jamar Chase put up 201 yards and a touchdown in that game. Like, that's unreal. Like, that's insane. But
I mean, I think going forward, like Joe Burrow, he's not really like shooting lights out. Like I'm not really afraid. Like he's very like low percentage, but I think he's pretty efficient with his passing. He's not throwing 300 plus yards. He only has 2 games with 300 plus yards. So it's not something that you'd be like super afraid of. But he seems to have some chemistry. I do like their core. I like Boyd, Higgins, and Chase. I like those guys as a core. I would love them to be on the Dolphins.
And then Mixon, who's like Mixon's hit or miss. Mixon can be up and down. Like one moment he has like an amazing game, the next game he's just like he's non-existent.
And Uzoma, I heard his name pronounced today. I guess he doesn't. The tight end that they have, he's like, oh, everybody's making up my name. It's Uzoma.
Uzoma.
Uzoma? No, it's Uzoma.
Yeah, the offense is good. If they can get the defense and the offensive line clicking, like they're going to be a really dangerous team. Which obviously you fix in the offseason. Do they trade for anybody right now? I don't know. The trade, I don't see a lot of things. I don't see a lot of things happening on the trade deadline coming up. I believe Tuesday, I think the trade deadline is. I don't see much happening.
But going forward, I mean, the Bengals have a tough schedule. They're in with the Ravens and the Browns in that division. So that they have to play them twice. They play the Chargers, they play the 49ers, they play Kansas City, they play they play the Raiders. They got a tough schedule. Like, so, is it going to be sustainable? Who knows? You know what I mean? The great players show up. So Joe Burrow's finally having, hopefully, he still stays healthy coming off his leg injury from last year. And, they can continue, at least to compete. You said they're going to win the division, or you said they're going to win the division or make the wild card? Because that's a tough, I'm down on the Browns now.
I think they can win the division. I don't think it's far fetched to say that they can. Do they? I'm not 100%. I don't think it's. I mean, that's a tight race. I mean, like you said, I think they split half and half. I think they split the 2 games with the Ravens. I think Ravens might come back and win that. Then again, you're at Cincinnati because they beat Ravens at Baltimore.
Yeah.
If they keep on progressing and playing well, like Jamar Chase is getting better and better each game, Joe Burrow's getting better and better each game. The team as a whole is just banding together and getting larger victories. And these aren't the scariest teams in the world. And honestly, the AFC is pretty wide open. Like anybody can beat anybody in the AFC. I feel like now that Kansas City's kind of been dethroned, everybody seems like it's going to be really competitive come towards the end of the season because like. They play the Browns. I mean, this Sunday they played the Jets, which easy dub. Then you play the Browns, which I don't know if Baker's going to be ready by then. I forgot how long they said his injury was. But I can see them beat the Browns. I can see them beat the Raiders. Yeah. I can see them beat the Steelers. Chargers, they might struggle with. But then again, like these are all at the rate that they've been playing, these are all winnable games. And obviously you're not going to win them all. I don't think they're going to win them all. They're going to drop a few. But I can see them getting 6 losses this season, and that's it. Like, and going, what would that be, 11-6? Like, I could see that. Like, to me, that's a real, at the rate that they're going. I mean, we're roughly halfway through the season.
Remember last year that division, they had three teams in that division end up in the playoffs. So, I was like, okay, Joe Burrow's going to come back. And at least they'll be competitive. At least they'll have a fighting chance.
Yeah,
they got young talent. I didn't expect them to be at the top of their division, but but now definitely I'm down on the Browns. Definitely, there's a lot of injuries and a lot of ODB's not playing. OBJ, excuse me, OBJ,
and everybody was
playing
pissed.
Well.
And everybody's pissed that they didn't pick up Penei Sewell in the draft. They didn't do anything to the offensive line really.
Yeah.
No serious moves on the offensive line, and people were questioning like whether or not it was a good idea to take Jamar Chase. Turns out to be that was by far the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Because from what I understand, Penei Sewell's not playing the best right now.
I think he's playing pretty well. I think people like the way he's playing.
I mean, offensive line is hard. It takes time. That's a big adjustment. You're coming up like grown men versus like playing against college kids. I mean, don't get me wrong, those are still big kids in like the Pac-12, but I mean, these are like 25, 26 fully grown men that are like been in the league and a lot faster. But Jamar Chase is looking like that LSU connections seem to be something special and something we're going to see for a long time for sure. Like just like we saw with Andy Dalton, AJ Green, even though I think Joe Burrow is by far a way better quarterback than Andy Dalton ever was.
And that's kind of for a franchise, like you want to set those guys up to play together. Obviously, they have rapport. They went to the same college, so I think that was a smart move. I mean, regardless of Sewell or Chase, I think that you got good players in both of them. So I'm fine with it. They can always add and trade and get veteran players later on, but Cincinnati to me is just like a happy surprise. It's like, I was like, okay, maybe they'll be competitive. I don't know if they'll be at the top, but at least they'll be, interesting.
Yeah.
And
I thought they were going to be better.
Above.
Yeah, I thought they were going to be better. I didn't expect them to come in here going 5-2, especially with the schedule and the division that they have. Like it's really impressive. And that's funny because like I just remember hearing all these Cincinnati fans just murdering Zach Taylor, saying that they want him out and that he's not a good coach. And now it seems to be working out. I mean, obviously time will tell if he's going to end up being a really good coach because maybe all this talent is hiding his bad coaching, but who knows?
Yeah. I definitely think they're fighting above their weight class.
Oh, for sure. And, for sure. Like I said, I don't think they're as talented as even like a Cleveland or like a for sure not Baltimore, Kansas City. Like they're not the most talented roster on both sides of the ball. And their weapons, I think they could compete with anybody, but especially on the defense and like offensive line. But it's the NFL at the end of the day. Anybody can beat anybody, and that's what's so great about it.
Yeah.
All right, so next? Now let's get into the MVP race. I'm gonna list the top candidates from number 1 and down. Number 1 right now is Josh Allen. And I'll tell you the odds. The odds is plus 300. Then it's Tom Brady plus 460. Then it's Dak Prescott plus 500. Kyler Murray plus 600. Aaron Rodgers plus 900. Matthew Stafford plus 900. And mind you, this is Friday, so we're talking right after the Green Bay Arizona game.
Yeah. How do you feel about that list? Because I'm still down with Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen is really good. I really like the Bills this year. Aaron Rodgers is also pulling weight too. Like, Aaron Rodgers hasn't taken a step back. You've seen him. He can still put the team on his back, and he's still, that kind of MVP Aaron Rodgers. But I like Josh Allen. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that list. I'll probably bump up Rodgers a little bit more, but I'm good with Josh Allen as long as he continues to stay healthy and still playing. But what do you think about the list?
I think Josh Allen is number 1 is deserved. I think he's been playing. I mean, he hasn't looked bad at all. Like really, right? I mean, like he's looked really great. I think they shouldn't have lost to Tennessee. Tennessee's another one of those teams that somehow like they're not like they just find a way to fucking win, and I don't get it. Like I don't get it. They just find they're not the scariest team in the world. Like what they're gonna do, but yet they just find a way to win. It's not the best defense, but somehow they just win. Not the scariest quarterback. Really, the scariest thing about them is Derrick Henry, but they just find a way to win. But I'm a little surprised that I would say I'm a little surprised Kyler Murray and Aaron Rodgers aren't a little higher. I'm surprised they have Dak and Tom Brady ahead of them. Nothing against Dak and Tom Brady. I think Dak's been playing really well, honestly. Tom Brady, I mean, I don't know. It is a tight race then again, because Tom Brady hasn't playing well. I would say, I think Kyler Murray kind of deserves to be a little higher personally. I think he's been playing extremely well. Very well. I'm kind of surprised he's not number 2. That's the only person I would really bump up. I am okay with Aaron Rodgers kind of being in 5th place. I'm a little surprised in the odds that it's just plus 900. I thought maybe it would be a little lower. I feel like 900 is a little high for him because he is playing really well. I think what's might be hurting him is that first game of the season, versus these other 4 guys haven't had a down game. And Aaron Rodgers had that 1 down game. And I think you kind of have to take that into consideration. But I think Josh Allen is deserving. He was my pick coming into this season of being the MVP. I mean, after what I saw last year. Now he's repeating it. He seems to be worth the money, all that money that they're giving him. And that Bills team is dangerous. They're really good. I think they're kind of taking on being that number one seed role. I don't think they're going to be as dominant as what Kansas City was the past couple years. Just not because of any fault of the Bills not being better. I think it's just the rest of the league has gotten better and kind of like caught up. But Bills are good, man. And it's because of that guy right there. But yeah, I mean, what do you think about Kyler Murray being a little bit higher? I feel like that's one thing I would say. I would probably have Kyler Murray over Tom Brady.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Kyler Murray. I think he played pretty well last night as well on Thursday night.
He got screwed.
Yeah, I mean that fourth quarter was exciting. It was exciting to see him, go down the field that late in the game, and that's kind of what you want to see. Like I said, I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna repeat it. I'm gonna be a broken record. He is Russell Wilson 2.0. He's a little smaller. He's not the same size, but kind of that same kind of scrambling, can throw it deep.
Knows how not to get hit.
Accurate. Yeah.
Very good at not getting hit.
I'm a fan of Kyler Murray. I hope he does well this season. Cardinals are really good, man. I mean, we want to talk about the game a little bit last night. I know we're talking about MVP race, but we can talk a little bit about the game.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, man. I think that was a great game. I hate that it was on a fucking Thursday night, bro. I hate that it was on a Thursday night. That should have been a Sunday game. I just like Thursday night games in general. I think it's fun to watch football, but I'd rather watch a shit football game on Thursday because it's terrible. It's terrible for the players, man. But last night's game was exciting. That fourth quarter I think was really fun. And yeah, man. I mean, Aaron Rodgers does Aaron Rodgers things, man. You can't deny him. Like I feel like Aaron Rodgers he's got a chip on his shoulder. He's trying to show that, like, yo, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
I don't understand why everybody's after. I think it's something to do with fucking mainstream sports media. Like they're always like saying something about Aaron Rodgers, and he doesn't even deserve it. Like he's done nothing but just ball his whole career, and all people do is just talk shit about him. Like I don't get it. He's not loud. He's not outspoken. He just keeps to himself. I listen to him do the show on Pat McAfee every Tuesday. They do that. And it's just like, but yeah, people just keep on coming after this dude. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't like, he's unreal. He's like, and I was telling Jojo about this. I was like, I know people refer to Tom Brady as the GOAT, which I think he is. I mean, obviously he's the most decorated athlete ever in any sport, any team sport. But I've always said that I've felt like Aaron Rodgers is the greatest talent that the NFL's ever seen from the quarterback position. Like just overall talent. Like, I mean, the fact that he can move, his arm strength. Obviously, he only has one championship, but when I'm just talking about just pure talent at the quarterback position and just having all attributes, like I don't know another guy better than Aaron Rodgers in that aspect of the game. And that game was awesome. And I kind of agree with you too with the Thursday nights. I love Thursday night from a fan perspective. Obviously it's great. We get football a little bit midweek, but I do think it's wrong to have players come back in such a violent sport. Yeah. In such a short week and such a violent sport. And granted, you get the extra couple days off, but is it worth it? I don't know if it's worth it. Obviously, it helps the NFL, and I think it's good for the fans. But I think for the players, it just kind of sucks. I don't think anybody likes doing a Friday night, and they will never do a Friday or Saturday just out of respect for high school and college football. So that's why they do those. That's why they do it on Thursday. But Arizona should have won. Man, it's hard. That game was great. Like Arizona pulled off a massive stop on the goal line against Green Bay right at the end and then they come all the way down the field Kyler Murray leads them all the way down the field from the 1 yard line. Get all the way down the field just for AJ Green not to turn around and just oh man, I don't know. It makes me question if it was a miscommunication on the part, like, because it seemed to be like, you know how sometimes when you know the ball's not coming to you, these players they full on block. They don't do anything just to disrupt the defense. But I mean, everybody else from what they were saying in the on TV, that everybody else turned around and looked, except for AJ Green. So I don't know if maybe he thought that it was just a blocking motion, but they seemed pretty confident. Like everybody seemed like they knew what was going on, except for AJ Green.
Yeah.
So it's kind of unfortunate that the way the game that ended for Arizona, because they should have won that game. They should have won that game, especially pulling off that massive stop.
Yeah. Shout out to Randall Cobb, who had a really good game. Also, that cornerback that got that interception that last game in instruction. I think he used to be on Arizona, right? Was he on the team before? No,
I'm not sure.
But he was I forget what they're saying. I thought I heard something that he was on the practice squad or something, that he got dropped by Arizona or something. I don't know. But that's definitely a playoff style game. Like, the two really good teams that are playing really well. There's lots of action and it was kind of a low score game, 24-21, but it was still exciting, to watch.
Yo, and shout out to Green Bay and Matt LaFleur and like the way they executed that game with the personnel that they had, because obviously you're out Devontae Adams, Alan Lazard, and I'm missing somebody else. No, it was three receivers. But yeah, the fact that they missed out on their top three receivers, and then Randall Cobb showed up. Aaron Jones played one hell of a fucking game. I have him on fantasy. I'm actually going against you this weekend, Gabe. Aaron Jones went off for me. I had Arizona's kicker, which kind of sucked. Only got 3 points. But Aaron Jones balled out. It's a shame that he couldn't punch it in that one last time. I think it was fair to not give him that touchdown call right at the end, even though it wasn't clear. It's weird because there was no video, because the ruling on the field was that it was a touchdown, and there was no clear evidence saying that there wasn't a touchdown. But at certain angles, you can tell, like when his ass hit the ground, it was before the goal line, and then from certain angles, when you see him fall back, the ball hasn't passed. It was a really little bit of a surprising. I'm surprised they went that way, but I think it was the right decision technically, even though there was no footage of it. But man, that was a great game. That was honestly a great game. And shout out to Matt LaFleur. Like I am surprised that with all that personnel missing and not having Devontae Adams and all that they would keep it that close and let alone win. Because I think the spread on that game was 7.5 after hearing what happened with the COVID rules. But that just shows how scary Green Bay is, man. Missing their 3 wide receivers and they still show up and just.
I'm telling you, man. Aaron Rodgers, he can still put a team on his back. So don't doubt the GOAT.
Oh, and a new meme came out that that game, the Aaron Rodgers, where he's like,
you talking about this one? Oh no, when he's like pointing. Wait, there's a couple of pictures.
There's one where he had like a claw coming out of that game. The one I'm talking about is when he's like falling down like this,
he's
and the
pointing.
Just,
oh, okay, yeah.
I'm talking about the one where he's falling and the helmet's
on the side.
Just like,
okay, yeah. His chin straps on his mouth.
His chin straps on his mouth. That shit was hilarious. It's just like the internet was just memeing the hell out of Aaron Rodgers that game. But yeah.
But do you want to get into this week's predictions as we head into the football weekend?
Let's get into some picks right now. Okay. Gabe, I hate to tell you this, man, but we got obviously Thursday night happens, so we're not going to go over Thursday night game. Miami Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills. Just guess the spread.
It's like plus 17 or something, or minus 17.
Minus 14.
Okay. Told you, I know.
And being that last time Miami played at Buffalo, it was not good. It was when you guys' playoff hopes are on the line, and it was not the right team to go against on that. But I'm going to take Bills minus 4. That's a fat spread. It's the NFL. But you're at Buffalo. Bills Mafia is going to be strong, and the Dolphins just don't give me hope.
I hope that Tua plays well. But
Odds
I don't
are
think they
dead
have any
even
hope.
too.
Bills are really good.
Odds
Yeah,
are dead even, so it's 50-50 right now.
I go with the Bills because they're just a really good team, and the Dolphins. I don't know if the season's over, but it's not looking good.
Yeah. All right, we got Carolina at Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons is -3. I am taking ATL. Carolina have just fallen off a cliff big time. So is Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold got benched last week. Oh, it's not looking good for Carolina. And it looks like they're in the whole Deshaun Watson rumors too. Um, that's an owner who wants to win, because I think the owner of Carolina, he's the richest owner in the whole NFL. The dude's David Temper, I think his name is. That dude has so much money, but they're gonna find a way to get Deshaun Watson, I think. But yeah, I'm taking Atlanta. You got?
I'll take Atlanta as well. I don't like any of those teams. I don't like that game, but I'll take Atlanta.
It's a lot of shit games, and beyond.
Yeah, this week, yeah, there's not really.
Philly at Detroit. Philly is -3.5.
Give me Philly. I don't trust. I think the Lions are going to lose for a while. I don't know when they're going to get a win. This would be a prime chance they're going to win, but I don't think they're going to do it. I think Lions going to lion. Give me Philly.
I think Lions going to lion. I don't know, man, because then there's times where they looked good against the Rams. They had the Rams like on the ropes, man. Like, it was close. Like, I was like, holy shit, they might actually fucking win this game. Jared Goff's on a serious revenge tour right now in Los Angeles. I'll take Detroit.
It wasn't the Detroit.
They almost beat They almost beat the Ravens. And then Justin Tucker hit that world record fucking field goal kick.
Yeah.
I'll take Detroit. I think they finally snapped their losing streak. I think this is their chance. They've played well against bad teams. Obviously, they've looked bad as well. But there's moments where I'm kind of surprised. Like, I think they squeeze one out. I don't trust Philly. I think that Sirianni coach and Phil, I mean, this is the battle of the dumbest coaches in the league. It's got to be Dan Campbell and Nick Sirianni. I mean, these guys are fucking buffoons, dude. Like, all right, next game, AFC South rivalry. Tennessee at Indianapolis Colts. Indianapolis is -2.5.
Wow.
Indy's a tough one. They're a tough one to pick. It's like one moment they look great, and next they look bad, and then I don't know. I'm going to take Tennessee to cover. I think it's going to be a really close game, but I'll take Tennessee +2.5. I don't even know if they win. They might lose by a point. They either lose by a point or they win. So I'll take the cover.
I got Julio Jones on my fantasy. He's out, but I still believe in Tennessee. AJ Brown, has those games where he goes off, and they still got Derrick Henry. Give me Tennessee.
And they just blew out Kansas City. I mean, they've been beating good teams. Yeah. Kansas City, the Bills. All right, we got a blowout fest right here. LA Rams at Houston Texans. -15.5 for the LA Rams.
Only 15? Give me the Rams.
Oh, yeah. At Houston?
Oh, give me the Rams. Man. You think they're not going to cover?
I don't think
the Rams are not going to cover. Bro, I mean, you know how good
it was. It was a 17.5 spread last week against the Lions, and they didn't get it.
I don't talk about a snub. You want to talk about MVP snub? Matthew Stafford.
Well, I said Matthew Stafford. He's just has the same odds as Aaron Rodgers +900. He was 6th.
Okay.
He's tied for 5th.
Okay,
I don't think he's he's top 5, but I mean, he's playing well. Don't get me wrong. He looks amazing. But is he Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott level right now? I don't think so. I'll take Houston +15.5. I feel like Rams don't know how to blow out a team. I feel like they don't blow out when they need to. Like that Lions game shouldn't even been close. That should have been a complete domination.
Give me the greatest show on turf. I'm taking the Rams.
That's the wrong Rams. Cincinnati Bengals at New York Jets. Cincinnati Bengals are -11.5, and at New York. Go ahead.
Who? I don't know. The Jets. I'm not high on the Jets. Obviously as a Dolphin fan. Do they cover 11 points?
I think they do it. I think Bengals do it.
I think no. Just give me the Bengals. They're gonna beat them by like 2 touchdowns. Give me the Bengals.
Because I didn't think the New England Patriots were going to do it last week. And they're not even nearly as high of a scoring team as Cincinnati is. So I think I'm gonna take Cincinnati. All right, this is a tough one to bet against. Got Pittsburgh at Cleveland. Cleveland is -4. Is Baker back?
I don't think so, man.
If Baker's not back, and they got who they have in there? Cleveland Browns Baker quarterback Baker Mayfield's to start Sunday. Yeah, so Baker's playing. I'll take Cleveland -4. If Baker's playing,
at home?
Yeah, at home. I think
how
they
many
win
points?
by a touchdown. -4.
Yeah, I'll take Cleveland. I can see it.
San Francisco.
Go ahead. Was it San Francisco?
San Francisco at Chicago. San Francisco -3.5.
Oh, San Francisco easy. Bears are not good. They're
not good, but they have a really good defense. They have a good defense, and you're at Chicago. That is a tougher one. Realistically, this is a game I could see Bears win. I'm not sold on San Francisco. They're not. I don't think San Francisco is as great as we remember. Like, they're playing better than last year. Obviously, you got like a lot of your starters back, but they can't. They're a team. You know, we always say like these teams find a way to win. They're a team that just finds a way to lose. Like this season, like they lose a lot of games they should have won. And the odds are leaning towards Chicago. I'll take Chicago 3.5. I think Chicago loses by a field goal. I'll take that.
Yeah, I'll take the Niners. Niners will.
This is a disrespectful spread right here. I just want to let you know, first and foremost, this is the most disrespectful, most egregious spread. Jacksonville Jaguars at Seattle Seahawks, and the Seahawks are favorites -3.5. Absolutely egregious. Like, that is blows my mind. I'm putting the fucking mortgage on the Jags.
Wow. You heard it here first. Exclusive mortgage on the Jags.
You mean to tell me Geno, the garbage can Smith, is going to beat us? Like, eat my ass. They cannot do that. Like, you kidding me? Like, there's no way. Man. We go in Seattle and we whoop that ass. Like, we run. Look, Seattle has the second worst run defense in the league. Horrible run defense. The only player they have on that defense is Jamal Adams. So I just say run the fuck out of James Robinson. I want to see James Robinson get 30 carries and 200 yards. We're about to pound the fucking rock on that team. And then we have a really solid run defense this year. Obviously, our secondary is questionable, but it's Geno Smith. I don't care. Let Geno Smith. If we're going to lose that game, I'll let Geno Smith throw the ball. I dare let him throw the ball. I don't care. Put 9 in the box. Let Geno Smith beat us to the air, because I know he's not. Like, this is an egregious spread, and I think the only reason why they're getting this is because you're at home. If this is at Jacksonville, we'd be the favorites. Taking the Jags 3.5.
Well, I mean, you got to travel west. You got that jet lag. I mean, that's tough, man. You got to go all the way on the opposite side of the continent. I'm not a believer.
Trevor Lawrence versus Geno Smith.
Oh, I think Trevor Lawrence is going to have a better game, but who do I think is going to win?
With that terrible defense?
Give me the Seahawks.
Wow.
Seahawks at home. 12th man. Come on, let's go.
Who's gonna beat us? The
12th
crowd?
Man.
The crowd?
12th man. They have 12 man. How many you got? You got 11?
All you gotta
they
do
got
is
12.
stop the run game, and that's it. And that's not even that tough of a challenge. It's not like they got Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch ain't coming through that door. So I'll take this is egregious. All right. We got New England at Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers are -4. And
Chargers. I don't want to
take
have
the
any
Chargers.
discussion about this.
Give me the Chargers.
I don't want any discussion.
They're about to rack up points. There's no way New England's going to be able to match them. No way Mac Jones matches them in points. We got Washington football team at Denver Broncos. JoJo's Broncos. Broncos are -3.5, and give me the Broncos. I think Broncos bounce back.
Yeah.
They've gone on a tough losing streak. I think they bounce back. This is a team.
I think this is one of the.
Win.
Yeah, this is the game I'm probably going to watch the most. This game, I want to see how the Broncos look. I'm around with JoJo and the Broncos at home, but it should be a fun game.
I'll take the Broncos. Man, Washington just Heineke's not it. They need a legit quarterback. That team's good.
Heineke played pretty good. Heineke played pretty good. When I was watching it, I was like, he's not that bad. Heineke's not that bad.
He's not that bad, but dude, he's just a Fitzpatrick 2.0. He's not going to be that guy that he's not. Look, you got to beat Dak Prescott right now. Like that's and Heineke's not beating Dak Prescott. Like it's just how it is. Like the team's good. They got a really good defense. You got weapons, Gibson, McLaurin. Like I don't think he's it. I mean, I think he's a great backup, awesome backup, but he's not a starter in this league. No way.
He's playing all right. I kind of like him.
He's playing all right, but he's not gonna. I don't think he's not gonna take you to the playoffs. Look, we're talking about we're picking Denver over him. Like, come on, like he's not that great. All right, Tampa at New Orleans. Tampa -4.5. I never know in New Orleans, man. I never know.
I'm gonna go with this should be also a pretty good game to watch. I'll probably have this on my screen. Jameis Winston gonna have to take that W, turn it to an L. This broken hand W just made me get like this. Because I got Tampa, man. Tampa's got too many weapons. They're playing really good. They're the champs. Give me Tampa.
Yeah, I'll take Tampa by a touchdown. I think they take.
Should be fun though. I'm gonna watch it. I'll watch the game.
All right, this is gonna be a good game. Sunday Night Football. We got Dallas Cowboys at Minnesota Vikings. My Vikings are -3.5 as the favorites, and I like the Vikings. And they're at home. They seem to start clicking finally. They lost a few devastating games beginning of the season, so they should have won. They're a better team than people give them credit. Give me the Vikings at home. I think. I'll always bet against the Cowboys. I just hate the Cowboys. So.
Yeah, sadly, I would say I have to admit something. As much as I hate the Cowboys, they are playing really good this year.
They're playing good. I'm not going to give them that.
They should be the favorites coming out of their division. Give me the Cowboys on the road, man. Give me the Cowboys on the road. 3 points ain't enough, man. Only 3 points. They got Vikings winning by 3 points.
It's pretty even. The lines are pretty even right now, -110. I like Minnesota. Minnesota's better than people give them credit. And Monday Night Football, we got New York Giants at the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs are -9.5. And we just went into depth about Kansas City. I don't think they cover. I think they win, but I don't think they cover. I don't trust. That's the one thing everybody knows. The past 3 years, you do not take Kansas City to cover. They never cover. They never cover. And even more so this year. I will not trust Kansas City with a big spread.
I think I'm going to go with you. With your logic, I think Kansas City wins, but they don't cover the points. They probably win by a touchdown.
They never cover, and especially this season. Like they're not who they were. So, yep, that's it.
For
Week
this
8.
Episode 33. That's it. All the NFL previews. Hopefully, we come back next week or next time. JoJo will be around. We can discuss more about the World Series. There's a lot of stuff going on in the UFC that we're kind of watching. Basketball starting up. All right. So JoJo will be here to talk about his Knicks and Knicks tape and hashtag Bing Bong or whatever the fuck. I don't know what's going on with the Knicks. But we'll be back with more sports. Appreciate y'all checking us out. Real Fans Podcast on all the things. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram.
We're Publix. Like, please do not forget to go to those channels. YouTube's doing great. Yeah. Twitter, Gabe's on the Twitter game right now. Please check out those other ones.
Real Fans Podcast. Appreciate y'all checking us out. Thank y'all. Peace.